Okay, so today we're gonna dive into something that I think a lot of us can relate to, and that's that feeling after a really good workout. You know, that sort of like blissful exhaustion and that desire for like a luxurious spa
Mhm.
experience.
Oh, absolutely. I think we all know that feeling, right? Like where you've pushed yourself, you've got that good kind of like muscle soreness, and all you can think about is like sinking into a hot bath or getting a massage.
Exactly, yeah, like that image of just pure relaxation and pampering.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we were looking into this and it turns out that this desire, it's not just about, wanting to feel good in the moment.
Right.
There's actually a really interesting connection between that desire for pampering and the way our bodies actually recover and rebuild muscle.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So let's actually break that down for our listeners because I think it is really fascinating. So,
Yeah.
as we all know when we exercise, we're actually causing these microscopic tears in our muscle fibers.
Yeah, it sounds kind of scary when you put it like that.
Right, like you're damaging your body, but
But it's a good thing.
it's a good thing. It's like a necessary part of the process.
Yeah,
And then these tears, that's actually what leads to muscle growth and strength.
exactly right.
But the key is that recovery period.
Uh-huh.
And this is something that a lot of the research that we were looking at really highlighted, that recovery period is absolutely crucial because that's when those little micro tears are actually healing. And
Yes.
that's when your muscles are adapting and getting stronger.
It's like they say the magic happens when you're resting.
Exactly. So it's not just about, how hard you push yourself during the workout.
It's that balance.
It's what you do afterwards that really matters.
Yeah. And thinking about, your overall fitness journey and your progress over time, a lot of the training guides we looked at, they emphasize this too. They say that optimizing that recovery process
Right.
is absolutely key for seeing consistent progress and importantly, preventing injuries down the line.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we really want to make sure that we're giving our bodies what they need to recover.
Exactly. So, our mission today in this deep dive is to give you some really practical, actionable do it yourself
Love
techniques
it.
that you can actually use to enhance your body's natural recovery process
Right.
and make it something that you enjoy doing.
Right, make it sustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually look forward to it instead of it feeling like another chore.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. And the first thing we're going to tackle is something that you probably do every day,
Okay.
and that is taking a shower.
All right.
Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, how can taking a shower be part of like a luxurious spa experience?
Right.
But hear us out, because we're not just talking about, hopping in and rinsing off.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to it.
We're going to transform this into like a therapeutic ritual.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, think about those fancy spa showers with all the different settings and the jets.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually recreate a mini version of that right in your own bathroom.
I love that.
It's surprisingly effective.
Okay, so how do we do this?
So, a simple change in water temperature can actually make a big difference. And a lot of the physiotherapy resources we looked at really highlighted this.
Really?
Yeah, it's a 3-step process. So, you start with warm water, and that helps to relax your muscles.
Okay. Yeah.
Think of it as like gently easing out that tension.
Right, like a nice warm hug for your muscles.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Then this is the part where people might, kind of cringe a little bit, but you're going to switch to cold water for about 30 seconds.
All right, bring on the cold.
Yeah, I know it sounds a bit shocking, right? But trust me, there's a good reason for it. And all the research we looked at on inflammation, it consistently shows that this is really beneficial.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that cold water, what it does is it helps to constrict the blood vessels.
Okay.
And that's really good for reducing inflammation,
Right.
which obviously happens naturally after you exercise.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's just a short burst. But according to the sports medicine articles we read, it can really make a difference in how your muscles feel in the hours and days after your workout.
Wow. Okay, so a little bit of discomfort for a lot of gain.
Exactly. And then thankfully you finish with another round of warm water just to kind of bring everything back to a comfortable state.
Okay, so it's a warm-up, cold shock, and then warm down.
Exactly like a reset for your muscles.
I love it. And to really make it even more spa-like, think about adding some aromatherapy.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And this actually brings up a really interesting point that some of the wellness experts talked about, which is how can we engage more of our senses to enhance the recovery process?
Right.
So, a really simple tip is to keep a few branches of eucalyptus in your shower.
Okay.
And as the steam rises, it'll release those essential oils.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's like your own personal aromatherapy steam room.
Wonderful. Okay, so
Right.
you've stepped out of your therapeutic shower feeling nice and relaxed.
Yes.
Now what's next?
Well, next up is muscle relief.
Of course.
Your muscles have been working hard, so it's time to give them some targeted attention.
Absolutely. And so here we're moving beyond the, kind of general benefits of the shower to really focus on specific areas.
Exactly. So for those larger muscle groups, like your legs, your back,
Yeah.
a foam roller can be your best friend.
The foam roller, the good old foam roller.
Yeah, it's a form of self-myofascial release.
Okay. And for those who might not be familiar with fascia, can you just explain what that is?
Yeah, so fascia, it's basically a network of connective tissue that surrounds your muscles.
Okay.
And foam rolling, what it does is it helps to break up any knots or restrictions in that tissue,
I see.
which then improves blood flow and reduces soreness.
Yeah. It's that kind of pain that feels so good afterward.
Exactly.
You're doing something right.
And then for those like super specific spots that are really tight, you've got that one knot in your shoulder that just won't go away.
Yeah, we all have those.
What do we do for those? That's where a warming muscle balm can come in handy.
Okay. I love those.
Yeah, they're great. So the heat from the balm increases circulation to that specific area,
Okay.
which helps relax the muscle and ease that tension.
Right. And there are certain ingredients that are especially good for that aren't there.
Yeah, you want to look for balms that contain things like capsaicin or camphor
Mm-hmm.
because they create that warming sensation.
Yeah, it just feels so good.
And then another technique that we came across is called contrast therapy.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about that.
Have you tried it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually tried it myself.
Okay, well, it's not just for the shower.
Oh, yeah.
You can also use it for specific muscle groups
Oh, wow.
using hot and cold compresses.
Uh-huh.
So you basically alternate between heat, which dilates the blood vessels,
Right.
and cold, which constricts them.
Okay.
So it's like giving your muscles a little circulatory workout.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a good rhythm is to do a few minutes of a warm compress, followed by about a minute of cold.
Oh.
And you repeat that cycle a few times,
Got it.
and you can target it to specific areas.
I like that. Okay, so we've got the shower. We've got our muscle relief.
Yes.
What about hydration?
Yes, hydration's so important.
Of course, because, we all know we need to drink water after working out.
Right.
But let's make it a little more spa-like.
Yes, exactly, because it doesn't have to be just, chugging down water.
Right.
We can actually make it a really enjoyable part of the experience.
Okay, so what are your tips?
Well, instead of just plain water, try infusing it with some fresh ingredients,
Okay, what kind of ingredients?
like cucumber slices, mint, leaves, a squeeze of lemon.
Oh, that sounds refreshing.
Yeah, it's not only really hydrating, but it tastes delicious.
Right.
And it looks beautiful. You've got that like spa aesthetic.
Absolutely. And what about if you want something that's a little bit more substantial?
Yeah.
Something to really replenish your body.
Yeah, then a recovery smoothie can be a great option.
Oh, I love a good smoothie.
Me too, and it's a really easy way to get in those essential nutrients that help your muscles repair.
Okay, so what kind of things should we be putting in our smoothie?
We'll focus on anti-inflammatory ingredients, so things like berries, spinach, ginger,
Mm-hmm.
and you can add some protein powder as well to help with muscle recovery.
And for those who maybe prefer a warm beverage, what would you recommend?
Green tea can be a really good choice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not only hydrating, but it's also packed with antioxidants,
Right.
which can help reduce oxidative stress after exercise.
Okay, wonderful. So
Yeah.
we've got our muscles feeling a little bit better. We're hydrated.
Yes.
Now let's talk about massage.
Massage.
The ultimate relaxation.
So a professional massage is obviously amazing,
Of course, yeah.
but let's be realistic, it's not always accessible.
Right, not always an option.
So what kind of DIY techniques can we do at home?
Yeah, that's a really good point because, while a professional massage has its benefits, there are actually a lot of techniques you can do yourself that are still very effective. Okay, great.
So remember those massage balls we talked about?
Yes.
They're amazing for getting into those trigger points, those knots.
Yeah, oh my gosh, those are the worst.
And you can really target those specific areas.
Okay, so how do we use them?
You can either lean against a wall or lie on the floor with the ball underneath the muscle.
Okay,
And you just apply gentle, sustained pressure
okay,
until you feel that tension start to release.
got it. And what about more of a general self-massage?
Yeah, so combining gentle stretching with self-massage can be really effective.
Okay,
So as you're stretching a muscle, you can use your hands to knead and rub along the length of the muscle.
okay,
That encourages blood flow and helps it relax.
right. And this next one sounds a bit more luxurious.
Ooh, okay. Tell me more.
We came across a suggestion of using a jade roller for facial tension.
Oh, yes, the jade roller.
Have you tried this?
I have. I actually really like it. It's very soothing.
Yeah, and I think it's something that people might not necessarily think about
You know?
in terms of post-workout recovery.
Exactly.
But we actually hold a lot of tension in our face and jaw.
We do, especially after a tough workout.
Yeah, and the jade roller can really help to release that.
Yeah, it's that cool, soothing sensation that feels amazing.
Wonderful. Okay, so we've covered showers, muscle relief, hydration massage.
We have.
Now let's get to what I think a lot of people consider the ultimate spa experience,
Yes.
and that is a bath.
The bath.
If you're lucky enough to have a bathtub,
Yes.
this can be a real game changer for your post-workout recovery.
It can. And, a warm bath is already so therapeutic,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a few things you can add to really boost those benefits.
Okay, go.
So the classic one is Epsom salts.
Epsom salts, of course,
Yeah.
you hear about Epsom salts all the time for muscle recovery.
Yeah, they're like the gold standard.
But what is it about Epsom salts that makes them so good for our muscles?
Well, they're rich in magnesium sulfate.
Okay.
And magnesium is a mineral that plays a really important role in muscle function and relaxation. So when you soak in a bath with Epsom salts, your body absorbs that magnesium through your skin.
Wow.
And that helps to ease soreness and promote relaxation.
So it's not just like an old wives' tale. There's actual science behind it.
Exactly. There's a reason why it's so popular.
Okay, so how much Epsom salts should we be using?
For a standard-sized bathtub, about 2 cups is a good amount.
Okay.
Just dissolve it in the warm water.
And of course, to enhance that spa ambiance,
Yes.
what about essential oils?
Oh, essential oils are a must.
Which one would you recommend?
For a post-workout bath, lavender is always a good choice.
Lavender. Yeah.
It's known for its calming and relaxing properties,
Mhm.
so it's perfect for both your body and your mind.
Yeah, it's just such a classic spa scent.
It is, and it really helps to create that relaxing atmosphere.
Okay, now what about the water temperature?
Yes, that's important. You don't want it to be too hot.
Right.
So aim for warm water, somewhere between 95 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
That's a good range for being therapeutic without being too intense.
Right, and how long should we soak for?
About 15 to 20 minutes is usually enough to get the full benefits.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our ultimate spa bath all set up.
Yes,
But as with any new habit, your consistency is key.
absolutely.
So how can we make this post-workout spa routine something that we can actually stick to?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think the best approach is to start small.
Okay.
Don't try to do everything at once. Maybe
No.
just start with the therapeutic shower.
Mm-hmm.
And one other element, like foam rolling.
Okay.
Once those become habits, then you can gradually add more things.
So it's about building up to it slow.
Exactly, because you want it to be sustainable.
Right.
You don't want it to feel overwhelming.
And what about those days where you're just super busy and you don't have time for like a full-blown spa session?
Yeah, those days happen.
Yeah, all the time.
So for those days, you can do an express version.
I love that. Okay, so what would that look like?
So maybe a quick 5-minute contrast shower, a little bit of foam rolling just on the areas that are really sore,
Mhm.
and then have that recovery smoothie ready to go.
So even just a few minutes is better than nothing.
Exactly. Every little bit helps.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is all great, but it seems like there's even more that we could be doing.
Oh, absolutely. This is really just scratching the surface. So if
Okay.
you're really interested in exploring this further, there are so many different avenues you can go down.
Okay, like what?
Well, for example, you could look into different stretching techniques,
Okay.
like dynamic versus static stretching,
Right.
and how those affect muscle recovery.
Interesting.
Or you could get into more advanced foam rolling technique
Oh, yeah.
to really target those specific areas.
And then there's restorative yoga.
Oh, yeah, restorative yoga is amazing.
Yeah, it's so good for gentle recovery.
And there are also more advanced self-massage techniques.
Right. So many options.
You can really get into it if you want to.
And then beyond the shower, what about other types of temperature therapy?
Yeah, so you could explore ice baths.
Ooh, ice baths.
Yeah, those are great for reducing inflammation.
Right. Especially after a really intense workout.
Exactly. Or you could look into other methods of cold therapy.
Hmm.
Or you could learn about how to use hot compresses effectively.
Yeah.
Or even sauna use.
Oh, yeah. Saunas are amazing.
They are, so many possibilities.
And for those who love their baths, what other types of baths could they try?
Well, you could experiment with different DIY bath recipes.
Okay.
Using natural ingredients.
Like what kind of ingredient?
Oh, things like herbs, essential oils,
Yeah.
salts.
Okay.
You could look into detoxifying baths.
It's interesting.
Or magnesium baths.
Uh-huh.
Or do a deep dive into the science behind Epsom salts.
Yeah, because we kind of just touched on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the whole world of aromatherapy.
Yes, aromatherapy is so powerful.
It really is.
Yeah.
So how can we use that to enhance our recovery even further?
Well, you could research specific essential oil blends for post-workout relaxation, or look for the best essential oils for sore muscles.
Hmm.
You could even learn to make your own pain relief rubs.
Wow. So many things to
So
explore.
many, yeah.
So it's really about creating a personalized recovery plan.
Absolutely, because what works for one person might not work for another.
Right. So we need to figure out what works best for us.
Exactly. And there are so many options out there.
Yeah.
You can turn your hydration routine into a spa ritual.
Yeah.
You can do post-workout face care.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, target those facial muscles.
Right.
You can have protein-rich snacks that are actually delicious.
Yes, because food is important.
It is, yeah. And you can create quick routines for those busy days.
Right.
So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, a balanced plan that fits your life.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is all fantastic information.
Good.
But now let's address some of the questions that our listeners might have.
Okay.
So first up, timing.
All right.
How soon after a workout should we actually start this recovery process?
That's a great question, and the answer is as soon as possible.
Really?
Yeah, ideally within that 15 to 30-minute window after you finish exercising.
Okay.
That's what they call the recovery window,
Interesting.
because your body is really primed for recovery during that time.
So it's like the optimal time to do these things.
Exactly. Your muscles are still warm and pliable,
Okay.
so it's a great time to stretch and start taking care of yourself.
So even if you don't have time for a full routine, just do something.
Exactly. Even just rehydrating and doing a few stretches.
Okay, that's a good tip.
It'll get the process started.
Okay, now another big question. Hot versus cold therapy.
Ah, yes, the age-old debate.
When do we use ice? When do we use heat?
So as a general rule, cold therapy is best immediately after an intense workout.
Okay, so that would be like ice baths, cold showers.
Exactly. Yeah. And that helps to reduce inflammation and soreness
Right.
by constricting those blood vessels.
Okay.
Hot therapy, on the other hand, is better starting about 24 hours or more after your workout.
Okay, so later on,
Yeah. And that helps increase blood flow,
which does what?
which promotes muscle repair and relaxation.
Got it. So ice first, then heat.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's contrast therapy.
Right, where you alternate.
Yeah, you get the benefits of both.
Okay. And you gave us that rhythm before.
2 minutes, hot 30 seconds, cold repeat.
Perfect. All right, so another question. How can we speed up recovery naturally?
Yeah, that's a good one. So it really comes down to taking a holistic approach.
Okay, what does that involve?
So make sure you're eating protein within 30 minutes of your workout.
Okay,
That helps repair those muscle tissues.
got it.
Stay hydrated with water and electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep.
Sleep is so important.
It is, yeah. It's when your body does most of its repairing.
Right.
Do some gentle movement on your rest days.
Okay, so active recovery.
Exactly like walking, swimming. Stretch regularly.
Okay.
Consider adding anti-inflammatory foods to your diet.
Like what?
Things like tart cherries, ginger turmeric,
Okay, good to know.
and use a foam roller or massage ball for self-myofascial release.
So basically a combination of things.
Exactly.
And speaking of rest days,
Yes.
is it important to think about recovery even on those days?
Absolutely. Recovery is an ongoing process.
Right.
It's not just something you do right after a workout.
So what should we be doing on our rest days?
Well, incorporating light activities is really beneficial.
So more active recovery.
Exactly. Things like walking, stretching, gentle yoga.
Okay.
That helps keep your muscles healthy and prevent stiffness.
And it's a good time for those longer self-care practices, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like taking a bath foam rolling.
Wonderful. And how do we know if we're not recovering properly?
Well, your body will give you signs.
Okay, like what?
So things like persistent muscle soreness that lasts for more than 72 hours,
Okay.
decreased performance in your workouts,
That's never a good sign.
no unusual fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
poor sleep,
Okay.
irritability, changes in appetite,
Okay.
joint pain, stiffness,
Mm-hmm.
frequent injuries.
So if you're noticing any of those things,
Yeah, it's time to reevaluate your recovery strategies.
okay, so listen to your body.
Exactly. Your body knows best.
This has been so informative.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So to make it even easier for our listeners to put all this into practice,
Yes,
you've put together a quick checklist, haven't you?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, so what's on our post-workout spa routine checklist?
All right. So first things first, have clean gym clothes and a towel ready to go.
Okay, makes sense.
Make sure you have all your shower essentials.
Got it.
Have your recovery tools handy, like your foam roller or massage ball.
Hmm.
Prep your hydration station.
With our infused water
Well,
or our smoothie.
exactly. And if you want to go all out, create a relaxing environment.
Ooh, yeah. Like what?
You know, dim the lights, put on some calming music, light some candles,
Love it.
make it feel like a spa.
So the key is to make it enjoyable.
Exactly, because if you enjoy it, you're more likely to stick with it.
Absolutely. Okay, so to wrap things up,
Yes.
what's the bottom line here?
The bottom line is that post-workout recovery doesn't have to be a chore.
Right.
You can actually make it a really enjoyable experience.
Like turning it into a spa day.
Exactly. And when you do that, you're not only more likely to be consistent,
Right.
but you're also taking good care of your body.
It's a win-win.
It is. Yeah, so it's not just about luxury.
Right.
It's about giving your body what it needs to recover and perform at its best.
Absolutely. So the challenge for everyone listening
Yes.
is to try implementing just one or two of these tips after your next workout,
Yeah, see how it feels.
because your body deserves this.
It does.
Okay, so to sum up our deep dive today,
Mm-hmm.
you now have a whole toolkit of strategies to turn your post-workout routine into a spa experience
Yes.
to enhance your recovery and well-being.
And we encourage you to experiment and find what works best for you.
Absolutely, because everyone's different.
Exactly.
And one final thought.
Okay.
How might consistently prioritizing recovery,
Yes.
even in small ways, change your relationship with your body
Ooh, that's a good question.
and your fitness journey?
Yeah, think about that.
It's not just about bouncing back for your next workout.
Right.
It's about cultivating a deeper sense of care and respect for your body.
Absolutely.
Until next time,
Bye.
bye.